we're introducing the University of Atlantia's new Great Hall. This is a short introduction video for students, instructors, and teaching assistants for our new format for online sessions. When the University of Atlantia went online in 2020 in response to the closures associated with the COVID-19 outbreak, it was little thought that the need for an online university would outlast the darkest days of the pandemic. However, by popular demand, online university sessions have become a permanent fixture. The staff of the university continues to refine our processes to ensure that we are offering the best possible options with available resources. In recent sessions, it has become apparent that more instructors are relying on the university to provide the resources for their classes. To meet this demand and simplify students' ability to navigate rooms online, the university has decided to use a single Zoom room, our new Great Hall, and named breakout rooms as the central location for university classes. This is a big change from our former patchwork of instructor-selected platforms and students needing to jump from one URL to the next. We believe that it is an improvement, both from our point of view in managing the online session and for instructors and students as they move from class to class. The staff of the university hopes that you find the new approach to online sessions a smoother experience. Let us know what you think by filling out the post-university survey. Be assured that the staff pays attention to your input and uses it to improve our performance. On behalf of the staff of the university, yours in service, Dame Deidre Ocean, Chancellor. Depending on your interest, there are 3 parts to this presentation: students, instructors, and teaching assistants. There is some overlap in each section explaining the highlights of the new Great Hall. However, the details are focused on the individual activities. While participating in the University of Atlantia, all attendees are expected to display courteous behavior and abide by SCA policies related to conduct. Multiple instances of poor conduct may result in losing access to the University of Atlantia. If you're a student, the class information set out the day or two before the university begins will have a link to the Great Hall and the name of the breakout room in which your class will be held. When you enter the Great Hall, you will see a background graphic of the classes scheduled for the current hour. This is a flat graphic and not links to your class. You can go straight to the classroom via the icon for breakout rooms at the bottom of the Zoom screen. If you don't see that icon, you can use the other icon and select breakout rooms from the drop-down menu. Please do not enter the breakout room before the prior class has ended. Please exit the room at the end of class. Almost all classes will be in named breakout rooms accessible from the Great Hall. However, a small number of classes will be on platforms sponsored by the instructor. You will have to use the instructor-specified link from your class roster to access these classes. In order to get credit for participating in class, students will be asked to enter their name in the chat area as a record of attendance. Some instructors record their classes. This will be made clear at the start of class. If you don't want to be recorded, turn off your camera and mute your microphone. Make use of the chat area to post your questions. To avoid Zoom bombing, the university does not publish the link to the Great Hall. It will be on class rosters. If all else fails, send an email to registrar@university.atlantia.sca.org to request the link. All times are given for U.S. Eastern Time Zone. If you are not in the Eastern Time Zone, it is recommended that you use the date time converter app to ensure that you know when classes take place. Now, if you are an instructor, enter the Great Hall via the link provided in your class information email. If you are using your own platform, you can skip to the end of this section. When you enter the Great Hall, request to be made a co-host. You can ask anyone on the university staff. However, it is helpful if you use the raise hand function to get someone's attention. The first available staff member will respond. Go to the assigned breakout room a few minutes before the official start time of class. If you have a teaching assistant, this is a good time to make sure you both understand what is expected during the class. Your students are likely to have different levels of proficiency with using online meetings. Please be patient with them. Attendees in your class should be pre-registered. However, the Great Hall format does not prevent non-registered students from attending. If your class is full for pre-registered students, non-registered students will be removed from the room. If your class is not full, non-registered students can stay, but they will not receive class credit. If you have a handout or slide presentation, your students will likely want a copy. Also, people who cannot attend your class for whatever reason may request a copy. It is recommended that you have a copy available on some sort of sharing platform, for example, in a Google Drive or in Dropbox. You can share the link in the chat. University emails do not permit attaching documents. If you're the instructor, when you're done class, do not close the classroom. There is a button to close all rooms. Do not use this button. It will close all the breakout rooms, not just yours. You should conclude your class before the start of the next class period. Ask all attendees to exit the room in a timely fashion. There is a 10-minute break between classes for this purpose. If you have a lively discussion that you'd like to continue, return to the Great Hall and request a new breakout room. The university staff will be happy to oblige you. To avoid Zoom bombing, the university does not publish the link to the Great Hall. It will be on class rosters. If all else fails, send an email to registrar@university.atlantia.sca.org to request the link. All times are given for the U.S. Eastern Time Zone. If you are not in the Eastern Time Zone, it is recommended that you use a date time converter app to ensure that you know when classes will take place. If you're a teaching assistant, a TA, it's a very good idea for teaching assistants and instructors to touch base before the day of the university. Teaching assistants should understand the comfort level of the instructor in using a virtual room. TAs should also understand how the instructor wants to conduct the class. This includes when the instructor wants to accept questions, posting information in the chat area, how to handle disruptive students, etc. The day of university, enter the Great Hall via the link provided in your class information email. Request to be made a co-host. You can ask by voice for anyone on the university staff to do this. However, it is helpful if you use the raise hand function to get someone's attention. The first available staff member will respond. Go to the assigned classroom a few minutes before the official start time for the class. This is a good time to make sure you and the instructor both understand what is expected during the class. At the end of class, do not close the room. There is a button to close all the rooms. Do not use this button. It will close all the breakout rooms, not just yours. The breakout room should be cleared from the previous class before the start of your class. If people are hanging around, you should politely ask holdovers to leave. Before the end of class, ask attendees to enter their names in the chat area and make a copy of the contents to give to the registrar to record attendance. At the end of class, you should politely encourage attendees to leave. If there is a lively discussion that participants want to continue, go to the Great Hall and have a university staff member open another breakout room for that purpose. To avoid Zoom bombing, the university does not publish the link to the Great Hall. It will be on class rosters. If all else fails, send an email to registrar@university.atlantia.sca.org to request the link. All university times are given for the U.S. Eastern Time Zone. If you are not in the Eastern Time Zone, it is recommended that you use a date time converter app to ensure you know when classes take place. We thank you for your time and attention. We look forward to seeing you at a future University of Atlantia session. The university is held the first weekend in February, the second weekend in June, and the third weekend in September. The February session is fully online on Saturday and Sunday. The June and September sessions are in person on Saturday and online on Sunday. Watch for announcements on our website at university.atlantia.sca.org or on the University of Atlantia Facebook page.